Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unpack complex topics to give you the essential insights you need fast. Today, we're diving into a really compelling query from one of our curious learners, a 21-year-old recent computer science graduate. You've reached out to us, and we appreciate it, letting us know you can build toy projects with the MERN stack, often by following tutorials. But you're hungry for more, right? For something beyond that initial guided experience.
hmm
You're actively exploring alternatives to the traditional job market, and you're clearly motivated by the incredible the undeniable potential surrounding AI.
Absolutely.
Specifically, you want to understand how you can identify and truly capitalize on AI opportunities to launch your own company or startup within just 1 year. And the goal, aiming for initial stable income and then setting yourself up for substantial growth. This isn't just another coding project. It feels like it's about building a future, a path to independence.
This is a fantastic and incredibly timely question,
Hmm.
really, and one that absolutely resonates with the current landscape we find ourselves in. We are truly in an AI-driven era.
Yep.
Opportunities are emerging at a pace we've frankly never seen before.
Right.
You hear influencers like Mark Cuban and Alex Hormozy constantly highlighting this very potential. The idea that even solo individuals or very small teams can build incredibly valuable, impactful companies with AI at their core.
Yeah.
So we're going to distill a practical, actionable plan for you, drawing directly from the sources you've provided, to help you navigate this exciting, dynamic path.
Yeah.
Going from a CS grad with MERN skills to a thriving AI founder.
That's our mission today. Okay, let's unpack this blueprint step by step. We'll explore how to identify those golden opportunities, how to leverage your existing MERN stack skills in this new AI world. The precise steps to build your startup with clear intention, and then, crucially, finding that path to stable income and, eventually, substantial growth. All within the ambitious, but as you say, absolutely achievable timeframe of the next year. This is going to be a deep dive into not just understanding the moment, but seizing it. So we're talking about launching an AI startup in a year. That sounds incredibly ambitious to some, maybe even a little crazy. But the first thing we need to grasp is just how monumental and real the opportunity truly is in this AI era. It's not just fleeting hype, is it?
Absolutely not. No, the data unequivocally shows we are in an AI-driven era.
Yeah.
It's characterized by what our sources describe as unprecedented user and usage growth. We need to put some concrete numbers to that.
Please do.
Private investment in generative AI alone reached a staggering $33.9 billion in 2024.
Wow. Billion.
Billion, with a B. Now, that's an 18.7% increase from 2023, okay? But get this, it's over 8.5 times higher than the levels we saw just in 2022.
8.5 times in 2 years. Yeah.
That's not a small trend or a gradual uptick. It's an explosion. This sector now represents over 20% of all AI-related private investment. That tells you where the smart money and, frankly, the energy are flowing. This is a period of rapid, accelerating change, one of our sources describes as change happening faster than ever.
Wow, those numbers are truly eye-popping. When you see private investment grow by over 8.5 times in just 2 years, what does that feel like on the ground? I mean, how does that kind of frenetic pace impact a solo founder like our listener trying to break in and launch something new within a year?
Yeah, it creates an incredibly fertile, almost urgent environment. What it tells you is that the timing for an AI startup is exceptionally favorable. Really good. The significant capital flowing in means there's a strong market appetite, not just for new solutions, but also a willingness to fund and adopt new ventures at a scale that's, well, rarely seen. The rapid user and usage growth, particularly in generative AI, suggests that new, innovative solutions are quickly finding receptive markets and widespread adoption. For you, as someone looking to launch within a year, this market momentum is crucial
Right.
because it indicates that if you can build something genuinely valuable that addresses a real need, the market is ready and waiting to adopt it and potentially fund your growth later. You're not pushing a boulder uphill, you're surfing a massive wave.
And it's not just about the investment money pouring in, it's also about the efficiency gains AI brings too, right? I recall Mark Cuban emphasizing that everyone needs to get on board or risk being left behind.
Exactly. Our sources highlight that AI cost efficiency gains are happening faster than with prior technologies. This means that the barrier to entry in terms of computational power and resources is actually becoming more accessible, not less.
Interesting. So cheaper to get started almost.
Yeah, in many ways, yes. It empowers smaller teams or even solo founders like you to build incredibly powerful solutions without needing massive upfront capital. Mark Cuban himself strongly advocates for this, emphasizing that 100% of everybody you know take advantage of AI, and don't be that person who ignores this technology.
Strong words.
Very. He goes as far as to suggest it can increase the GDP, the global GDP. That's a bold claim, obviously, but it reflects the widespread belief in AI's transformative power across virtually all sectors. It's creating a rising tide that can lift many entrepreneurial boats.
So the timing is perfect, the money is flowing into the ecosystem, and the tools are becoming more efficient and accessible.
Yeah.
Even with all that opportunity, you need a certain inner spark, right, to really make it happen, especially when you're looking to build something truly new. What kind of mindset are we talking about here, that entrepreneurial spark?
Yeah, beyond the external opportunities, truly successful entrepreneurship often stems from a deep internal drive. It's sometimes described, maybe a bit provocatively, as having a chip on the shoulder or even a trauma response.
Meaning a profound, almost unshakable motivation, or something fundamental to prove, either to yourself or, to the world. It's that inner fire that compels you to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles and build something meaningful, something that truly matters. This kind of deep-seated drive can fundamentally change your life to the better.
That's fascinating. So for our listener who's a 21-year-old CS grad exploring alternatives to the traditional job market, that desire for a different path, that feeling of needing to carve out their own space, that could be exactly that spark, couldn't it?
Absolutely.
It's not just about avoiding a 9 to 5, maybe, but really proving to yourself what you're capable of, finding a sense of impact or independence that a conventional role might not offer. How might someone recognize that spark within themselves and, leverage it?
Precisely. Your current journey, seeking something beyond the conventional career path, could be the very fuel you need. It's not just about raw technical skill, which you clearly have a foundation in with MERN. It's about that inner drive, resilience, and willingness to push boundaries.
To recognize it, ask yourself, what problems genuinely frustrate me? Where do I see glaring inefficiencies that just have to be solved? What kind of impact do I want to have that I might not achieve otherwise? This isn't about avoiding work. It's often about finding meaningful work on your own terms. Think of Amjad Masad, CEO of Replit. His mission isn't just to build a product, it's to create 1 billion coders.
Wow.
And Cody Sanchez, with her contrarian thinking, aims to create millions of owners. These are powerful, mission-driven approaches that go far beyond just building a product. They're about broad impact, empowerment, and a profound conviction in what they're trying to achieve. They weren't just thinking about a job, they were thinking about a legacy.
But it's also important to temper that intense motivation with a dose of realism about the challenges. Peter Thiel has some pretty strong, almost stark words about the odds of success in venture-scale companies, doesn't he? Like, it's not a guaranteed path to riches.
He does. Yeah, he's very direct. Peter Thiel notes that venture-scale companies are hard with a 90–95% failure rate. Yeah, he's very direct, stating that if you want to get rich, it is not the best way to go. His counsel is to do one because you really love the mission.
Okay.
This isn't meant to discourage you, but rather to ground that entrepreneurial spark in genuine passion and a deep conviction for what you're building. That unwavering mission will be absolutely crucial for navigating the inevitable difficulties, the setbacks, the times when you feel like giving up.
Right.
If your primary driver is simply money, you'll likely quit when things get tough. But if you're driven by a mission, you'll find the resilience to persevere.
That makes perfect sense. So with that intense motivation and a clear mission for what you want to achieve, we then need a framework for identifying what to build. And Peter Thiel, again, has a unique and rather provocative perspective on that, revolving around the idea of secrets and, maybe surprisingly, building a monopoly.
Indeed. Thiel's core argument is that competitive markets destroy profits. He posits that true sustainable value comes from creating something so unique, so indispensable, that you effectively create a monopoly.
Okay, but monopoly sounds a bit aggressive.
Well, let's be clear. By monopoly, he doesn't mean an illegal cartel or some oppressive entity. He means a company so good at what it does that no other firm can offer a close substitute.
Got it. So good, nobody else comes close.
Exactly. This leads directly to his concept of secrets, something important and unknown, something hard to do but doable. It's a truth that few people see, an insight that gives you an inherent advantage.
So you're not just aiming to join a crowded market or even to compete effectively. You're looking to carve out an entirely new space or dominate an existing niche so thoroughly that you become the only real game in town. That kind of goes against a lot of conventional wisdom, doesn't it, about competition being good?
It absolutely does. Your goal shouldn't be to just enter a market and compete. It should be to create a new one or dominate an existing niche so thoroughly that you achieve a sustainable, almost unassailable advantage. This requires a fundamentally nonconformist, independent thinking approach.
Oh.
You need to identify those secrets that others either haven't seen or haven't dared to pursue because they seem too hard or maybe too niche. A secret can be hiding in plain sight within a clunky workflow that everyone tolerates, or maybe a deeply ingrained assumption that's actually false.
That's a powerful idea. Finding something important and unknown but doable. But for our listener, a CS grad with MERN skills, how do they even begin to look for these secrets? Is it like big market research reports, or is it more about just observing everyday frustrations, or both?
It's often less about grand, expensive research and more about keen observation and critical thinking, especially in areas you understand or have curiosity about. Think about the pain points, those frustrating, inefficient tasks people endure, because, that's just how it's done. For a MERN stack developer like you, this might mean looking at existing internal tools within companies, or small business customer-facing processes that are clearly antiquated, or even your own development workflows. A secret isn't always some huge technological breakthrough. Sometimes it's simply applying existing tech, like AI, to an overlooked problem in a fundamentally better, maybe 10x more efficient way.
Okay, like automating something tedious.
Exactly. Maybe there's a specific repetitive data entry task within an industry that everyone hates. An AI agent wrapped in a nice MERN UI you build could be the secret to automating it, creating a little monopoly of efficiency in that tiny niche.
And what's a classic example of a company that actually achieved this monopoly through a secret, according to Thiel?
Google is the quintessential example. Thiel argues that Google hasn't competed in search since the early 2000s because it definitively distanced itself from Microsoft and Yahoo. They found a secret, a fundamentally better way to organize the world's information and rank search results based on relevance and links, an insight that others missed or dismissed. They then built an unparalleled product around it, essentially owning the market. Thiel advises against being conformist and instead encourages being willing to break away and do something contrarian. Don't follow the herd, lead the herd, or even better, create a new one where you are the sole shepherd for a while. That contrarian thinking is absolutely essential for uncovering these hidden truths.
That's a powerful idea. Challenging assumptions, looking for those hidden truths, and then building something truly unique. So if we're looking for these secrets and aiming for a unique, dominant position, how do we actually go about identifying concrete AI opportunities, especially for someone with your MERN stack skills and a desire to build something within a year? All right, so we're looking for secrets and aiming for a monopoly, not just competition. But for someone with MERN stack skills who's built toy projects but wants to move beyond tutorials, how do you actually find these deep, often hidden opportunities in the vast, rapidly evolving world of AI? Where do you even begin this practical search?
Well, the key, surprisingly often, is not to start with the most advanced AI models or the most complex research. It's to start with domain knowledge.
Domain knowledge, okay.
Yeah, if you understand something really deeply or you can go learn it really deeply, you can go build a business around it. A great starting point, as suggested by sources like Amjad Masad, is maybe get a job, find an industry you like or you're interested in, and go into that.
Get inside.
Get inside. What you'll discover there are massive inefficiencies. Those places where people do things still like faxes.
Faxes, oh yeah.
These everyday frustrating problems, often tolerated as just the way things are absolute gold mines for AI solutions. For you, this means looking at industries or workflows you might already have some familiarity with, even if just from casual observation or committing to deeply understanding a new one.
That's incredibly practical advice. So instead of trying to chase the next big AI breakthrough, our listeners should look at the familiar, maybe even mundane problems in areas they already understand or are willing to learn. Your MERN stack skills could then be applied to solving these inefficiencies with AI, even if you're not an AI research expert. Like, you can build the user-facing part, the interface that interacts with existing AI models or APIs.
Precisely.
But how do you actually spot these massive inefficiencies more systematically? What kind of questions should you be asking?
Great question. To systematically spot inefficiencies, you need to cultivate a habit of questioning everything. Ask, why is this process so manual? Why do people still use spreadsheets for this? What takes up the most time in this workflow? What repetitive tasks cause the most frustration? Or even what information is siloed or hard to access?
Right.
These are all indicators of places where AI, especially agentic AI, can step in. Consider the event management example cited by Amjad Masad. This woman knew exactly what it needs to create an event, everything from the venue and caterer to marketing.
Uh-huh.
She wasn't an AI researcher, but because she understood the domain deeply, she created an AI agent that can go do all of those complex multi-step tasks. This highlights leveraging deep practical knowledge to identify a problem that AI can uniquely solve, rather than just abstract technical skill. Your MERN stack skills mean you can build the platform to host such an agent, or even an agent itself that interacts with web interfaces, making that deep domain knowledge actionable. You can literally build the website where users instruct the AI agent, and then the agent does the grunt work.
That's a perfect illustration of how domain expertise combined with accessible tech can unlock real value. So once you've identified a problem space, a real-world inefficiency, how do you then narrow down to the right entry point for maximum impact, especially as a solo founder trying to achieve stable income within a year? Hashtag tag 2.2. The power of small markets and last mover advantage.
This is absolutely critical for you as a solo founder starting out. Instead of trying to acquire more users at random, aim to get the most valuable users first by dominating a small niche market segment.
Go small first.
Go small first. This strategy can lead to what Peter Thiel calls last mover advantage.
Last mover, not first mover.
Exactly. Where being the last to thoroughly dominate a key segment makes you uncatchable, rather than a first mover who might get displaced by a more agile follower. This is especially potent in network effects businesses.
Where the product gets better with more users.
Right. Where every new user makes the product more valuable for every other user, creating a powerful, self-reinforcing loop. These types of businesses, Thiel notes, must start with especially small markets.
So resist the urge to build a general-purpose solution for everyone. Focus on a tiny specific problem for a very specific group of users where you can truly excel. It feels deeply counterintuitive, though, aiming so small when the AI opportunity feels so vast. But I guess it makes sense if it creates an unassailable, defensible position. Why is starting small so crucial, particularly for someone like our listener?
It is counterintuitive, but it's a proven path to establishing a defensible monopoly. For a solo founder with MERN skills, starting small allows you to intensely focus your limited resources. You can build a product that is perfect for a very specific type of user, understanding their exact pain points and delivering disproportionate value. This deep understanding and tailored solution makes it much harder for larger competitors to replicate, because they typically aim for broader appeal.
Okay, that makes sense. They're too big to care about the tiny niche at first.
Exactly. Take PayPal as a prime example. They didn't initially target broad immigrant money transfers, even though their product could do that. Instead, they focused intensely on eBay power sellers, professional vendors who had high transaction velocity and were desperate for a better payment solution than eBay's own clunky system.
Right, I remember that.
There were only about 20,000 of them, a tiny fraction of eBay users, but they were incredibly active, digitally savvy, and deeply reliant on online payments. Once PayPal dominated this segment, there was no catching up because of the network effects among those power sellers and their buyers. Similarly, Facebook started with just Harvard students. These initial, seemingly small markets often don't even appear to be significant business opportunities to, say, MBAs looking at large, established markets. But they're precisely where you can build that unshakable foundation, gain crucial early traction, and then strategically expand. Your MERN skills are perfect for rapidly iterating and delivering that hyper-specific solution for your initial niche.
That's a great example of how starting small can lead to something massive and scalable. It really grounds the ambition. Now, with a target niche in mind, let's look at the actual emerging AI capabilities that you can practically leverage with your existing MERN stack skills. This is where your computer science background really starts to shine. Hashtag 2.3, emerging AI capabilities and application areas, leveraging CS skills.
Okay, this is a huge, exciting area for a MERN stack developer like you. Agentic AI is rapidly emerging. It's combining powerful AI foundation models with the ability to actually act in the world by creating virtual coworkers that can autonomously plan and execute multi-step workflows.
Virtual coworkers. So AI that does stuff, not just answers questions.
Exactly. This includes significant advances in multi-step reasoning capabilities for models, allowing them to strategically plan, adapt to variability, and generalize knowledge across tasks. Think of it as AI that doesn't just provide information, but takes action based on it.
That sounds like a total game changer. And this is precisely where the MERN stack really comes into play, right? Because these AI agents often need to interact with digital environments, which overwhelmingly means web interfaces.
You got it.
So for our listener, how would they practically connect their React front end or Node.js back end to, say, an OpenAI operator or something similar? Are we talking direct API calls, or are there specific SDKs or maybe middleware that simplify orchestrating these multi-step agent workflows?
Excellent question. And this is where your existing MERN stack expertise becomes incredibly powerful and immediately applicable. Primarily, you'd be interacting with RESTful APIs or possibly GraphQL endpoints provided by these AI models or agent platforms.
Okay, standard web stuff.
Totally standard. In your Node.js backend, you might use an HTTP client like Axios or just the built-in fetch to send prompts or receive structured data from a model like Google Gemini 2.5 Flash, which is specifically designed for developers building production apps with browser automation.
Right.
On the front end, your React components could manage the user's input, display the agent's progress step by step, and render its final output nicely.
Got it.
Now, a key architectural consideration for agents, especially with multi-step tasks, is managing state and orchestrating these asynchronous operations. You might use a queuing system like RabbitMQ, or maybe leverage serverless functions, think AWS Lambda or Google Cloud Functions for event-driven processing. This handles long-running agent tasks without tying up your main server. All of these tools and patterns fit squarely within a MERN developer's skill set.
So you don't need to be an AI PhD.
Not at all. You don't need to be an AI research scientist. You can be an AI integrator and application builder, wrapping these cutting-edge AI capabilities in an accessible, user-friendly package that you're already proficient in building.
Can you give us some concrete current examples of these virtual coworkers or agentic AI solutions in action? Like, what are they actually doing?
Certainly. We're seeing tools like OpenAI Operator, which, according to reports, launched in January 2025, and can autonomously perform various web-based tasks, such as booking flights, making reservations, and ordering groceries.
Wow.
Imagine building a MERN front end where a user simply types, "Book me a flight to NYC next month," and your Node.js backend sends that to the OpenAI operator, which then autonomously navigates airline websites.
That's cool.
Then there's Google Gemini 2.5 Flash, which specifically enables developers to build production applications with browser automation features. This means you could build a MERN app that sets up complex web scraping for market research, or automates onboarding forms for a niche industry, all driven by a powerful agent. And Manus AI acts as a flexible digital teammate for research, writing, and task management. These examples illustrate how agents are taking over routine, multi-step digital tasks, and many of these tasks directly involve web interactions that a MERN developer could build or facilitate, providing the essential user interface and data plumbing.
That's really clear how a MERN background becomes absolutely central there. But AI isn't just about text and code anymore, though, is it? It's increasingly engaging with the real world through different senses, visual, audio, and beyond.
That's right. The next big frontier is multimodal AI, which can process and generate text, images, video, and audio. This is significantly enhancing the quality and versatility of AI-powered outputs and expanding what's possible in really incredible ways.
Multimodal. Okay.
Yeah, and the sheer scale of this shift is evident in the numbers. The number of large-scale multimodal models has increased by an astounding 11,150% in 2 years.
Whoa, 1,100%.
1,150%. It's not just a niche, it's a rapidly growing core capability.
So for our listener, this means thinking beyond just text-based applications or traditional web forms. How could someone with MERN stack skills incorporate visual, audio, or video components into their projects to make their AI solutions truly multimodal?
Well, consider how this expands the types of inefficiencies you can tackle. For instance, you could build web applications using your MERN stack that allow users to upload images or videos. Then, you integrate with a multimodal AI model to analyze, transform, or generate content based on that input.
Okay.
Your React front end could handle drag-and-drop uploads, maybe show previews. Your Node.js backend could securely store the files, say, on AWS S3 or Google Cloud Storage, and then pass them to an API for a multimodal model. The results, whether they are generated images, summarized videos, or audio analyses, would then be displayed back in your MERN app.
Right.
This could be applied to enhancing visual quality control in manufacturing. Imagine a MERN app where factory workers upload images of products for immediate AI defect detection, or creating new content generation tools that produce short marketing videos from text descriptions, or even developing assistive technologies that process both spoken language and visual cues to help users navigate complex tasks.
So instead of just an event planner AI that gives you a text list, maybe an AI that designs the event space visually based on text prompts, letting you preview different layouts and decor in real time, that's much more immersive.
Exactly. We've seen Stability AI release stable video diffusion, capable of generating high-quality, realistic videos from text prompts. And both OpenAI and Google DeepMind have also showcased powerful text-to-video models. This technology can be applied to diverse areas like quality control, assistive tech, content creation, all of which can be interfaced and presented through a robust, user-friendly web application that you, as a MERN developer, are perfectly equipped to build. You can be the bridge between these powerful AI models and the end user experiencing their magic.
These capabilities are truly transformative and, importantly, accessible. Now, let's connect these emerging AI strengths to specific industries. Where are the most promising niche applications right now that could be ripe for an AI startup, especially for a solo founder with MERN skills and a sharp eye for inefficiency?
Yeah, AI-first products are demonstrating incredible stickiness in enterprise across a really wide range of sectors. The consensus from our sources is clear. AI is definitely changing work, but not destroying it.
Okay, that's important. Augmentation, not replacement.
Right. Rather, it's leading to augmentation, making humans more effective, and the creation of entirely new job roles. This means there are countless opportunities to build tools that enhance, rather than replace, existing human roles.
So it's not about replacing humans, but enabling them to do more, faster, and better. This sounds like incredibly fertile ground for identifying those massive inefficiencies we talked about earlier. For our listener, how would they approach finding specific problems within these broad sectors? Problems that are both impactful and solvable with their MERN AI toolkit. Let's maybe take healthcare as an example since it's such a massive field.
Exactly. You should look for industries ripe for augmentation, where AI can increase output without increases in staffing or enable job role expansion. Even if large companies are building general AI solutions, there are often highly specialized tools missing within specific workflows, maybe for unique user segments or even for underserved niche practitioners. Your role can be that of a business technology hybrid, someone who deeply understands specific industry needs and then skillfully applies AI to address them.
A hybrid, okay.
So let's pick healthcare, as you suggested. It's a goldmine for inefficiency. While big companies are working on drug discovery, imagine the smaller, everyday administrative burdens. Doctors spend hours on paperwork, appointment scheduling, insurance verification, patient intake.
Oh yeah, the paperwork nightmare.
Totally. So here's where a MERN AI solution comes in. The inefficiency. Imagine a small clinic's front desk is just overwhelmed. They spend half their day on the phone confirming appointments, sending reminders, updating patient info manually. The secret AI solution. You could build a MERN stack application that hosts an AI agent specifically designed for clinic administration. Your React frontend provides a simple dashboard for the clinic staff. Your Node.js backend integrates with an AI agent that can autonomously 1. Confirm appointments. Using natural language processing, it calls or texts patients, confirms their appointment, updates the status in your MERN apps database, maybe MongoDB. 2. Gather intake information. Before an appointment, the agent guides patients through a web form, built in React, to update their medical history, which is then structured and stored ready for the doctor. 3. Basic FAQ handling. The agent answers common patient questions: what are your hours, where do I park, freeing up staff for more complex issues. Why it's a good fit for a solo MERN founder. This is a clear, definable problem for a specific niche, small clinics. Your MERN skills are perfect for building the intuitive interface and the back-end logic. You're not building the next MRI scanner. You're building a virtual coworker that augments administrative staff, increasing output without increasing staffing. And because it's a specific, painful problem, these clinics would likely pay for a solution that genuinely saves them hours a day.
That's a brilliant concrete example. It clearly shows how our listeners' MERN skills can directly address a real-world high-value problem with AI. What about another industry, say legal services? That also seems like it would be just drowning in paperwork and documents.
Absolutely. Legal services is another prime area. The inefficiency often comes from the sheer volume of document review, contract drafting, and information synthesis. Law firms, especially smaller ones or specialized practices, are incredibly resource constrained. The inefficiency. A paralegal spends days, maybe weeks, reviewing thousands of pages of documents for specific keywords or clauses during discovery. Or junior associates spend hours drafting boilerplate contracts, risking human error. The secret AI solution. You could build a MERN application tailored for a niche legal practice, perhaps one specializing in real estate closings or intellectual property filings. Your React frontend allows users to securely upload vast amounts of legal documents. Your Node.js backend securely stores these, maybe encrypted on S3, and integrates with an AI model fine-tuned for legal document analysis. This agent could then 1. Automate document review, quickly identify relevant clauses, flag inconsistencies, or extract specific data points like names, dates, amounts from large sets of contracts or discovery documents. 2. Generate first drafts. Based on a few key parameters entered through your MERN interface, client name, deal terms, the AI could generate a compliant first draft of a common legal document, like an NDA or a simple lease, which the lawyer then reviews and refines. Saves huge amounts of time. Why it's a good fit for a solo MERN founder. This offers immense time and cost savings. The associate billable hours AI can replace or augment are some of a law firm's most profitable business, indicating a strong incentive for adoption. Companies like Harvey, a legal tech AI startup, are already serving law firms, with Klarna reporting 90% adoption for contract drafting among its legal team. OslerWorks employs AI to speed up high-volume legal transactions. Your MERN skills would be vital for building the secure, user-friendly document management and interaction platform that wraps around the AI's intelligence. And we could go on and on. From robotics, where you might build the MERN interface for managing a fleet of autonomous mobile robots in a warehouse, maybe showing their status on a map, or even digital weeders for agriculture like FarmWise, abstracting away the complex robotics with a simple web dashboard.
Digital weeders.
Yeah, or AI-assisted translation, like Lilt, improved visual inspection of wafers in semiconductor manufacturing, like Seagate is doing, financial transaction surveillance, like DBS Bank, cyber threat attribution, Mandiant, content creation tools, Intuit Writer, to augmented reality for employee training, like PPC Linear. Each of these represents a specific problem being solved with AI, often within a niche, and almost all of them benefit from a robust, user-friendly web interface that a MERN developer can deliver.
That's an incredible array of concrete examples, and it really drives home that AI isn't just for Silicon Valley giants. It's truly augmenting work everywhere, and that your MERN skills are a tangible, valuable asset. So identifying the opportunity is one thing. Now, how do you actually build it, especially aiming for initial stable income within a year? Let's get into the action plan. We've identified the massive opportunity, cultivated the right mindset, and explored how to spot a niche opportunity. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of actually building this AI startup within a year. What are the absolutely fundamental skills our listener needs to focus on right now beyond their existing MERN stack expertise?
Okay, beyond your existing coding skills, which are a phenomenal foundation, you need to cultivate 3 core abilities, almost like mental superpowers. First, and most immediately practical, learn prompting right now.
Prompt engineering.
Yeah, this is the immediate hands-on skill for interacting with AI models effectively. But maybe more importantly for the future, focus on developing clarity of thought. This means being able to translate complex ideas into simple bullet points and paragraphs to articulate precisely what problem you're solving and how your AI does it.
Right, communication.
Critical. And third, develop systems thinking, which involves breaking up large ideas, large concepts into smaller components that you can work on them in isolation.
So it's about being able to communicate clearly what you want the AI to do and then breaking down the entire problem into manageable, interconnected pieces, almost like a technical architect designing a complex system. This sounds like it directly builds on your computer science background, but maybe takes it to a more strategic level. Can you elaborate on how a CS grad develops clarity of thought and systems thinking beyond just coding?
Absolutely. Your CS background already trained you in structured problem solving, but now you need to apply that rigor to the problem itself and its solution design, not just the code implementation. For clarity of thought, practice explaining complex technical concepts to non-technical people. Like, try explaining your project to your parents or friends.
The elevator pitch.
Exactly. Write out your product ideas as if you were pitching them to someone completely unfamiliar with AI or your niche. Use analogies. Force yourself to get to the core value proposition in a single sentence. This will be invaluable not just for designing effective AI solutions, but also for communicating their value to early users, potential partners, and eventually investors. Think of it as developing the skill to write strong product requirement documents, PRDs, even for your own solo projects. For systems thinking, your MERN experience is a fantastic starting point. You already break down applications into front-end React, back-end Node.js, and database MongoDB components. Now, extend that to the entire business process. How does a user interact with your MERN app? What data flows where? Which part did the AI handle? How do you ensure reliability and scalability?
Thinking bigger picture.
Bigger picture. For example, when building that clinic AI agent, you think about the entire workflow. User input React, sending to Node.js backend, calling the AI API, potentially iterating steps to the first answer isn't right, storing results, MongoDB, and displaying results back to the user React. Breaking this down into discrete, manageable components and clearly defining what each part should do and why before you start coding is crucial. It's like designing the blueprint before laying a single brick.
That structured thinking and clear communication will definitely make the development process more efficient and impactful. But when it comes to the actual product, Peter Thiel has a strong stance against simply iterating endlessly with a lean startup approach. He advocates for intelligent design. What does that mean for our listener building an MVP, especially with AI changing capabilities so rapidly? Hashtag 3.2, the intelligent design of a minimum viable product, MVP.
Yeah, Thiel argues that leanness is a methodology, not a goal. Simply adapting and iterating endlessly might lead you to a local maximum, a slightly better version of something existing, but it won't necessarily help you find the global maximum, a truly transformative 0 to 1 product.
0 to 1, creating something new.
Exactly. Instead, he says, a bad plan is better than no plan, and intelligent design works best. This means having a bold plan to go from 0 to 1, creating something entirely new or profoundly better, rather than just an incremental improvement of something that already exists. It's about having a clear, audacious vision for your secret and designing toward that from the start.
That's a powerful distinction. So while our listener will absolutely start with an MVP to get something out, quickly leveraging their MERN stack skills for rapid prototyping, that MVP needs to be guided by a clear, bold vision for a novel solution, one that can eventually achieve a monopoly in its niche, not just be a slightly better version of an existing tool. They shouldn't just build anything and hope it sticks.
Exactly right. Don't just build the best version of an app that lets people order toilet paper from their iPhone, as Thiel famously illustrates. That's an incremental improvement in a competitive market.
Right.
Instead, think about a truly transformative product that addresses that secret you've uncovered, the one that creates a category or dominates a niche. The beauty and speed of AI development today means you can get to a sophisticated MVP much faster than previously imagined. You can integrate powerful AI capabilities into your MERN front end and back end to deliver significant value from day one, rather than just basic functionality.
So the MVP itself can be quite powerful now.
It really can. Your strength in web development means you can wrap cutting-edge AI in an accessible, user-friendly package, allowing you to demonstrate your bold vision with an MVP, not just describe it. This lets you validate your unique approach rather than just iterating on minor features.
A great product vision, fueled by intelligent design, is essential. But even a perfectly designed product isn't enough on its own, is it? You have to get it into the hands of users. And often that means embracing something many engineers, especially those who prefer to build, might shy away from sales. Hashtag 3.3. Sales matters just as much as product, if not more.
Oh, this is a critical point. It's often underestimated, particularly by technical founders. Sales matters just as much as product. Our sources emphasize that sales ability distinguishes superstars from also-rans.
Superstars from also-rans. Strong.
It's an uncomfortable truth for many in the tech world. But even in engineering-driven Silicon Valley, the importance of sales is often systematically hidden. And for complex sales, we're talking deals ranging from maybe $1 million to $100 million, which you'll eventually need for substantial growth buyers. Want to talk to the CEO, not the VP of sales. They want to talk to you, the visionary founder.
So for our listener who's starting as a solo founder, they are the CEO. This means embracing sales isn't just an option. It's a core, non-negotiable part of the role from day one. They can't just outsource that initial evangelism and client relationship building. What advice do you have for a technical founder who might naturally prefer to be behind a keyboard than, in front of a potential client?
Absolutely. You as the founder need to embrace sales as a core part of your role. But maybe think of it differently. Think of it not as selling, but as sharing your vision and solving problems for people. Your technical understanding derived from your MERN stack background is actually a huge asset here. You can leverage that to explain your product's value directly, credibly, and technically to potential customers. You understand the pain points because you understand the tech, potentially better than a non-technical salesperson could. You can answer the tough questions. Thiel highlights that Palantir doesn't employ anyone separately tasked with selling its product. Instead, Alex Karp, who is Palantir's CEO, spends 25 days a month on the road meeting with clients.
25 days a month.
Yeah, that shows the intense direct involvement required at the top, building trust and demonstrating deep understanding. For you, starting out, Show your prototype, listen intently to feedback, and explain how your AI-powered MERN solution directly addresses their specific pain points.
And it's not about immediately landing multi-million-dollar deals, is it? It's more about building momentum, getting those first few wins.
No, absolutely not. Good enterprise sales strategy starts small. You'll rarely sign a deal completely out of scale with what you've sold before. Start by proving value to a few key early adopters in your niche. These first customers are invaluable not just for revenue, but for refining your product, gathering testimonials, and becoming your best salespeople.
Right, word of mouth.
Exactly. A new customer might eventually become your biggest, but it's a journey of building trust and demonstrating incremental value. Your technical proficiency allows you to directly address customer pain points, iterate quickly on feedback, and build that crucial trust, turning initial small sales into pathways for larger, more impactful deals. Sales, at its heart, is about building relationships and delivering real value.
That's a solid, pragmatic strategy for sales, especially for a technical founder. While you might be starting solo, scaling often means building a team, even if it's a virtual one initially. Hashtag tag 3.4. Building your foundational team, even if solo at first.
Yeah, the reality, as noted in our sources, is it's very hard to go from 0 to 1 without a team. Now, when you do start building that team, the early staff should ideally be personally similar, sharing an understanding of the world, and, crucially, being obsessed with creating something big.
Obsessed.
Obsessed. This shared obsession and profound alignment on the mission are far more important than just complementary skills initially. And equity, giving them a piece of the company, is often the best compensation to orient people toward creating value in the future, ensuring everyone is invested in long-term success.
So even if our listener is starting as a solo individual with their MERN skills, they should be thinking about who their ideal co-founders or first hires would be, or maybe even mentors who align with their mission. It's about finding people who share that chip on the shoulder mentality and belief in the secret they're pursuing, even if that team is initially just a strong network of advisors. How does someone who's currently building toy projects alone start to identify and attract these kinds of people?
Exactly. Your MERN skills mean you can handle the initial tech build, which is a massive advantage and lets you get started without immediate hires. That's huge. But you need to consider who would handle aspects like business development, maybe deep domain-specific expertise beyond your own, or perhaps someone who brings a different perspective to product design or user experience.
Right, complementary skills eventually.
Eventually. To identify and attract these people, start networking within your target niche. Go to industry meetups, virtual or in person, participate in online forums, even just talk to people who work in the sector you're targeting. Find out who's frustrated by the same things. Look for individuals who express similar frustrations or see the same secrets you do.
Okay.
The early PayPal team, for instance, worked well together because we were all the same kind of nerd. We all loved science fiction. And most important, we were all obsessed with creating a digital currency. That shared obsession was foundational to their success.
So finding your tribe.
Finding your tribe. You need to look for that shared drive and worldview. Even if it's just a mentor or advisor to start, someone who believes in your mission and can offer guidance, that's a crucial part of your foundational team. Show them your early MERN prototypes, share your vision passionately, and see who gets genuinely excited. You're looking for conspirators in your mission. Conspirators, I like that. Okay, so with a compelling product vision, an intelligently designed MVP, a sales-driven mindset, and a clear idea of your foundational team, the big question remains: how quickly can you actually achieve that initial stable income and then kick into substantial growth mode? This is the one-year goal. We've covered mindset, opportunity identification, and the initial building blocks. Now, for what many consider the most exciting and critical part for our listener, reaching initial stable income and then achieving substantial growth, ideally within that one-year time frame. What does the latest data tell us about revenue growth in the AI space? And how does it compare to previous tech waves like SaaS? The data here is incredibly encouraging, frankly, and it directly supports your one-year goal for stable income and rapid growth beyond that. AI-first companies are generating revenue at a much faster pace than previous waves of equivalently well-performing SaaS companies.
Much faster. How much?
It's not a marginal difference, it's a dramatic acceleration.
Yeah.
The average AI company that has reached $30 MEVs plus annualized revenue took just 20 months to get there, compared to 65 months for equally promising SaaS companies.
Wait, 20 months versus 65 months to get to 30 million ARR?
Exactly. That's a staggering difference. AI companies are reaching significant revenue milestones over 3 times faster.
Wow. That really underscores the speed at which AI solutions are being adopted and monetized. It makes that initial stable income within a year seem like a very realistic and attainable goal for our listener, assuming they find the right problem.
hmm
Why do you think AI companies are growing revenue so much faster? What characteristics enable this kind of explosive trajectory?
Well, it's multifaceted, I think. First, AI often solves fundamental problems with a magnitude of efficiency or capability that traditional software simply can't match. It creates immediate and often undeniable value.
Right, it's not just incremental.
Exactly. Second, the democratization of AI models, especially open source, means lower development costs, allowing companies to focus resources on productization and market fit rather than just core tech R&D.
Mm.
Third, the market is incredibly receptive. Businesses and consumers are actively looking for AI solutions right now. The demand is huge. And fourth, AI products often have high stickiness once integrated into a workflow that become indispensable, driving retention and reducing churn.
Okay.
Think of the giants. OpenAI's revenue grew 1,050% annually to $3.07. That's just mind-boggling growth. Or Perplexity, an AI-powered search startup, which hit a $1 valuation within 18 months of its founding.
18 months to a billion.
Yeah. Or Microsoft's AI business, which has surpassed an annual revenue run rate of $13 billion, up 175% year over year. These figures demonstrate the immense monetization potential and the rapid pace at which the market is rewarding valuable AI innovations. For you, this means if you truly nail that niche problem with an intelligently designed MERN AI solution, the market is primed for rapid adoption and revenue generation.
That's incredibly motivating. But this rapid growth isn't just about getting users, it's about how you acquire them and how you retain them, which ties back directly to that last mover advantage and network effects we discussed earlier, right? Hashtag 4.2, scaling with last mover advantage and network effects.
Precisely. Once you successfully dominate a small niche market segment and establish that last mover advantage, scaling becomes significantly easier and more organic. Monopoly businesses, as Thiel explains, get stronger as it gets bigger due to inherent economies of scale.
Right, costs don't scale linearly with users.
Especially true for software startups like yours, built with a MERN stack, where the marginal cost of producing another copy of the product is close to zero. Furthermore, true network effects mean that the product becomes more valuable as more people use it, creating a powerful, self-reinforcing growth loop that's hard for competitors to break into.
So the strategy isn't just about getting market share, it's about building in those inherent growth mechanisms from the very beginning. For our listener, leveraging their web development background to build scalable software with near zero marginal costs is a direct advantage. And they should be thinking about how each new user adds value for existing users within their niche, creating that powerful feedback loop. How can a MERN developer deliberately design for these network effects in their application?
Great question. A MERN developer can deliberately design for network effects by focusing on features that encourage interaction and shared value among users within that niche. For example, if you build that MERN AI solution for small clinics we talked about, maybe you allow clinic staff to securely share best practices or custom AI prompts they found useful within the application. Or perhaps there's a system where anonymized data insights from one clinic, like common patient questions, improve the AI's performance for all clinics using the platform. That's a network effect.
Got it. Shared learning.
Exactly. Or in the legal tech example, if the system allows lawyers to securely share review document templates that improve over time with AI analysis based on collective usage, its value grows with each contributing user.
Right.
Google's dominance in search since the early 2000s, or PayPal's unassailable position in the eBay power seller market are classic examples of how capturing a critical segment first, then expanding strategically, creates an uncatchable, highly scalable position. Your MERN stack skills are perfect for architecting systems that naturally foster these network effects, allow you to grow rapidly without disproportionate increases in cost. You're building a platform for interactions, potentially, not just a standalone tool.
The growth potential is clearly explosive in AI, making that one-year target feel very tangible. But it's also important to have a realistic understanding of how valuations work in this space. You hear these crazy numbers. It's not always about immediate profitability, especially for high-growth AI companies, is it?
You're absolutely right. It's a very nuanced picture right now. Many of the buzziest startups working on generative AI are raising on record, often three-digit revenue multiples.
Three-digit multiples, so like 100x revenue or more.
Or more, yeah. Now let's unpack that. While this is a clear indication of investor confidence in future returns, it also sets a high bar, as many of these companies currently have no identified path to profitability at those kinds of valuations. They're being valued heavily on future potential, not current earnings.
That's a crucial distinction. While the initial goal for our listener is stable income, understanding these soaring valuations gives them a sense of the immense, substantial growth potential further down the line. But it also highlights that profitability isn't always the first metric investors look for in these high-growth, transformative AI companies. Your goal for stable income is maybe a more grounded, sustainable starting point, which investors might actually appreciate in the long run, too.
Absolutely. A focus on sustainable income is smart. For example, OpenAI is valued at a significant multiple of its rapidly growing revenue, demonstrating that huge upside potential investors see. But then you have companies like Replit. Their CEO, Amjad Masad, points out their valuation was less than 10x of our revenue, when some competitors were supposedly 100x. Huge difference. He emphasizes that they are not trying to pump and dump, but rather build this in a sustainable way for employee upside and long-term value. This illustrates that there are different, equally valid approaches to growth and valuation. Your focus on achieving stable income first is a pragmatic approach that can then lead to impressive valuations later, as your solution demonstrates clear value, strong market traction, and maybe a clearer path to sustainable profitability.
Yeah.
You get to control your narrative more.
And finally, while the opportunities are vast, the AI landscape is incredibly dynamic. You've got big players, open source movements constantly influencing the game. How does our listener navigate this competitive environment, both protecting their niche and potentially leveraging broader trends?
Yeah, the AI space is definitely characterized by rising competition and significant open source momentum. What's particularly fascinating is that the performance of models is converging rapidly. Open source models are closing the gap faster than many expected, and doing so at a fraction of the cost to users.
So open source is getting really good really fast.
Really good, really fast. Meanwhile, tech incumbents are weaving AI deeper into their products, rolling out copilots and agents, expanding their reach into almost everything. And we're seeing the rise of these interesting pseudo-acquisitions, where big tech companies hire startup teams and license their models rather than outright buying the whole company.
Okay, this sounds like both a profound challenge and a massive opportunity. On one hand, you have to differentiate from powerful open source alternatives and the sheer scale of tech giants like Google or Microsoft. On the other hand, open source models can dramatically lower your initial development costs and accelerate your timeline. So for our listener, how do they leverage this dynamic? It feels like a double-edged sword.
It is, but it's about strategic leverage. You can, and probably should, strategically leverage powerful open source models. Think of the Llama family from Meta, which has now racked up over 440 M downloads. That's huge adoption. Models like Llama 3 are competitive in reasoning, coding, and multilingual abilities, offering cutting-edge performance without the potentially hefty API costs of proprietary models.
Right, saves money starting out.
Exactly. This significantly reduces your initial development cost and allows you to focus your MERN stack skills on building a superior user experience, a highly specialized application layer around the model, or unique data integrations that create your secret sauce. Your differentiation strategy needs to be crystal clear. Are you providing a hyper-specific UX tailored to your niche? Are you integrating deep domain knowledge that general models don't have? Do you have unique data access? Or is it a combination that neither open source out-of-the-box nor big tech generalists can easily replicate?
You mentioned those pseudo-acquisitions where big tech licenses models and hires teams instead of a traditional buyout. How does that actually work, and why are we seeing more of it now? It sounds kind of different.
It is different. Essentially, instead of a full acquisition where the startup shares are bought out, the larger company might pay out investors via a long-term licensing agreement for the technology or models, and then hire the core team to integrate and develop it further internally. For example, Microsoft's deal with Inflection or Amazon's with Adept were structured this way. Reports suggest investors are paid out via a licensing agreement, and the startup team then focuses on enterprise offers or specific integrations within the larger company.
Why do that instead of just buying them?
Well, it allows big tech to quickly bring in talent and innovation without the full complexity, regulatory scrutiny, and integration challenges of a traditional M&A. For founders, it can still provide a significant return and a path for their vision to reach scale, just through a different legal structure. It's another potential exit path. This dynamic environment requires continuous innovation and a keen awareness of broader trends, always seeking to carve out and defend that defensible niche. Hashtag tag tag outro.
So there you have it, a pretty comprehensive blueprint, I think, for launching your AI startup within a year, aiming for both initial stable income and then setting the stage for substantial growth.
Yeah.
From cultivating that contrarian, mission-driven mindset and spotting those overlooked secrets, to identifying incredibly specific niche opportunities by leveraging emerging AI capabilities.
And then executing with intelligent design and a proactive, sales-first approach, all while leaning heavily on your existing MERN stack skills.
It's truly about finding those unique secrets where massive, often hidden inefficiencies exist, and then building an AI agent or a solution that becomes absolutely indispensable within a small, defensible niche. Remember, while your technical MERN stack skills are vital for building the product, clarity of thought, systems thinking, and that fundamental willingness to sell and evangelize your vision are equally, if not more, important for long-term success. You're not just a coder, you're a problem solver and a visionary.
What truly stands out to me in all of this is the sheer speed of change and the scale of the opportunity right now. The data is just so clear. AI companies are growing revenue at an unprecedented pace, far outstripping previous tech waves. It's a truly dynamic, exhilarating, and frankly, historically unique time to be an entrepreneur, especially with these powerful tools becoming more accessible. It really is. And this raises, I think, an important final question for you, our listener, to really ponder.
Yeah.
In a world where AI is rapidly augmenting human capabilities and even democratizing creation itself, what unique human insight, what specific frustration you've personally observed, or what domain knowledge can you bring to an AI solution that others are missing or overlooking? Think deeply about that, because the greatest opportunities often lie right at that intersection, the intersection of powerful, accessible technology like AI and MERN, and a nuanced personal understanding of a specific unmet need. A need that only you, perhaps, with your unique perspective and motivation might discover. That's where you'll likely find your secret.
Go explore, experiment, and make things. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.